Well, welcome everyone. Thank you all for joining us on this auspicious occasion because we have a very special guest in the studio, the virtual studio. We have Ms. Nzuri, you all. So I'm going to give you a few minutes. I want you to share this out everywhere. And until then, I'm going to play a few songs for you.
Something so amazing. We deserve the law. On the Sunday morning, yeah. I'm listening to my radio. Yeah, no. I'm chilling with the boss lady. There is a thing of boss lady, and I'm listening to my radio. Every time I wanna day. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling like yeah. Everything's so good without my radio. I don't know what else to do, yeah. Global and vibe, 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 global and vibe.
I heard you all through the grapevine that there's someone here and she's coming to take over. She's known as Ms. Nzuri, y'all.
Yeah. About to blow on you niggas. What you know about this here? Bring that pain to you. Yeah. Nzuri in this motherfucker. Nzuri in this motherfucker. Yeah. Busted and disgusted cause you know I got that fire. Gonna beat it up, gonna drag it down cause I'm in my element now. Can't stop this sick ass shit, ain't no medicine for it. Better sit your ass back down and take this actual business. My flow's sick, my rhymes are thick like a bad ass chick on a block. Ain't no thinning it out cause where we come from, yeah, it's the South. Don't need no hook for this cause I'm about to air this shit out. Niggas take a leave of absence, can't never put that pen and paper down. It's in my blood, got writing on the wall, there ain't no escaping this. This music thing got me hooked like a fiend on a rock. Sitting on the corner waiting on my drug to arrive. Give me that fire beat, yeah, that 5 for 5. Surprise, huh? You know you ain't fucking with it, cause I'm a female, and shit, I'm about to dominate the game. You never would've seen this coming cause you sleeping in the corner. Keep sleeping, little baby, I'm about to take this shit over. I'm in my prime, it's been my time, I'm busting through the walls. Don't try to stand tall now cause I'm taking all of your fans down. I'm writing my own rhymes while you got yourself a ghost rider. You can never do it on your own while I've grown in my own. Been doing this when you were just in diapers. Keep fooling yourself cause you never be me. I'm a god that sets the powers to let it be. Mr. Nzuri, DJ Maestro, we coming at you. We can't be touched, we won't be stopped. We doing this damn thing around the clock. Yeah. I got GA is where I stay. I'm rapping every single day. Not born or raised, but I know my place, so I pay my homage here. They took me again, show me the rope. Now doing things most harder, so making money day to day from streams to play. It's my dream, so I'm gonna make them my way. For me and only me, this music is my life. I breathe it and eat it. If you can do better, I'm waiting. Let's see it, can't touch it, you know it. Now lay defeated, yeah, motherfuckers. It's over.
You know what? Listen, Ms. Nzuri did not come here to play with anybody, y'all. I just want you to know that on today. That was Ms. Nzuri herself. And here she is to say hello to everyone on today. Hello, Ms. Nzuri. How are you today?
I am well. Thank you so much for having me.
You know, I could not wait. And you know, I just thought about it. It was time to do another interview because we've had you in the magazine a few times and we've had you on the radio stations too, haven't we?
Yes.
I think you're one of our favorites. I mean, listen, you come hard with that music, harder than I would think. Because, you know, when people see you for the first time, they say, oh, isn't she cute? Isn't she sweet? And then, baby, you drop those bars. Oh, my goodness. And I'm like, wait a minute. Where are all these bars coming from? Who is this? What have you done to the sweet little, mild-mannered little Nzuri? No, there are a lot of sides to you. Oh, my goodness. Listen, here's the funniest part. You want to hear this?
What?
I didn't know that you went viral.
Yeah, I didn't know either until I looked. I was like, what is happening?
Oh, my God. You know, it's crazy. It is. That was the wildest thing because I remember seeing your face on someone's channel and I said, wow, that looks like my friend. Wait. You know, I didn't have on my glasses. So I put the glasses on and I said, that's Nzuri. What in the hell is going on here? So
Right.
But anyway.
What's going on?
Yeah, that was hilarious.
To my own self.
That was hilarious. But first, you know, I always like to go into a little bit into someone's history so people will know the woman that you are now and how did you become that woman. So let's go on a little trip down memory lane. Tell me, what type of child were you?
I was rambunctious as hell. I liked life, right? So I was always one of those kids where I like to get into everything because I need to know everything. You know, I mean, I was just rambunctious.
Now, were you a good student?
I was a great student up until high school.
Uh-oh. What happened in high school?
I mean, you know, it just was different. The learning was different. I'm more of a visual and a hands-on type of person.
Yeah.
And the teachers didn't really understand that, I could say. So me needing them to understand that, they wouldn't, and they would just kind of like keep going. And it's like, wait a minute, hold on, because I'm a creative. But they were teaching in like the way that you teach robots. Like, no, I can't learn this way. So yeah, it was not good. So I just basically was like, well, hell with it. And I started skipping school. And then that was ninth grade, so of course I failed. So I ended up going to a technical school after that. So I was doing like cosmetology and other little things or whatever. But I love working with my hands. I love like working with wood, like making things and those types of things. So yeah, I enjoy that type of stuff.
I would never have pegged you for working with wood. What type of wood were you working with? Well,
like making plaques and signs and all types of things with oh my gosh, it was so long ago, but you know how like they have the heater and you can engrave things into the wood?
Yeah,
Doing that, like building stuff. Because I like to work with my hands. So yeah.
It's amazing to find out like things about my friends that I never knew. Like, wait a minute, what? Wait, I thought you were a singer. What are you talking about? Wood handling and this and that.
Yeah.
And that's pretty cool, though. I love that. Now, let me ask you. I'm getting over a cold. Please forgive me. Let me ask you. So we know you were rambunctious. We know that in high school you were a bad girl. And 250 Records is here. Salute to 25 to Life Records with...
Hello.
That is Danny Joel from Australia. He is also our co-editor. Yes, he is, and he's doing an outstanding job. So we know that you like wood. Well, that sounds kind of weird, but we know that you like wood.
It does. But as soon as I said it, I was like, wait a minute, hold on, let me give you something, put something else in there.
You know what? I had to think that too. I thought that too, like, oh, and he says hello. Okay, so now we're getting out of high school. And what were your plans after then? And did you know that you were musically inclined at all?
Well, yeah, I started singing at 8, so I already kind of knew that I wanted to do music. I was 10 when I started recording in the studio. My passion was my music. When you have people that believe in you at that young age, it catapults you. So I started doing my recordings, and I ended up my mother's ex at the time. He used to work with Maurice Starr, the person that was working with New Edition and New Kids on the Block. He used to work with them, so I used to go to his studio, recording things of that nature. And once the parentals start to act weird, then everything kind of crashes and burns. I ended up still doing those things, but when people are not paying attention, then the kids go a little haywire. I ended up pregnant at 15.
Ooh, 15.
And I was getting ready to go into a Miss Teen USA pageant.
Oh my God. This is too much. Wait, I did not know all of this. Go ahead.
Oh, my mother was pissed. She was like, ma'am, you're not even paying attention to me, ma'am. I'm like, what? Because at that point, I wasn't really singing too funny or whatever. Her and the man at the time that she was with, they were on the fritz, so she's chasing him all over everywhere, doing whatever. And it's like, I'm not really singing or doing what I'm supposed to be doing. In the meantime, he's setting up all this nonsense and nobody's telling me anything because nobody's around. But I felt, as I got older, I was literally like a meal ticket to them. That's how it felt. Because you guys are setting this up and nobody's telling me anything. Nobody's watching me either, to see exactly what's going on or whatever. It just went haywire. It just went completely haywire.
Let me ask you something on that topic. Do you think sometimes that parents, they live through their children?
Absolutely. Especially with my mother, because my mother wanted to be a singer. For many years. She was a great singer, but the way her life was, that's not the path that she chose to take. So I think when she saw it in me, and then the guy that she was with was a producer, he saw it in me. That was something that they had to connect or bond on, if that makes any sense.
I do. So, I do understand that. I mean, it's something similar like that happened to me and my father, because, I grew up in the music business. And so he had his way of wanting to do things. I knew exactly the direction I wanted to do things. And we clashed. Big time because, it's a different generation, and it's sort of like, is he trying to live through me? I mean, I just didn't know, you know what I'm saying? So I just kind of went my way. I did my thing. You know what I'm saying? Just like you. You went your way. You did your darn thing. Let me ask you this. So you had your child at 15?
I had him at 16, but I was pregnant at 15, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you, that young of an age, how, and I know, and Rob, the poet Brown, is in the house. Salute. And all of those that are coming through. She said, hey, Rob. And let's see. Danny Joel also says, hold on. This is a message for you. He says, let's do an article on her in issue 2 of 25 to Life magazine. Okay. Well, you're going to be in 2 magazines. You're going to be in the Australian edition as well as the U.S. edition. And he also says, T-Money, you got to link us up with Ms. Nzuri. She belongs on a global mixtape. Okay.
Thank you so much.
She says, thank you, Daddy. Thank you, D-Money. We call him D-Money and they call me T-Money. I don't know. It's funny. Okay, so you had your son at 16. We know that we do not come with manuals. How did you figure it out?
It wasn't any figuring out. It was basically trial and error. You know, in the beginning, when I first had my son, my mother was very supportive. You know, but it's one of those things where she had her own children, you know, and they were little, because my son, my oldest son is older than my younger brothers.
Wait, your son was oh yeah, okay. Yeah. I figured that out.
She was having her own children while I was having my first, if that makes any sense.
Yes, it does. Yes.
So yes, she couldn't really help me as much as I needed to help. But I had a village, man.
Oh,
I had a village, because I wouldn't have been able to do it without the village. They helped me tremendously, because I didn't know what I was doing. I had no idea. You know, this is not a baby doll.
Right.
You know, he wasn't a baby doll. You can't just dress him up. You know, you have to feed him. You got to change him. You know, and I was very ill. Right after I had him, I almost died.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I was rushed to the hospital because it was I had like the flu, but it wasn't the flu. It was walking pneumonia.
Ooh,
and the doctor was like, if you hadn't gotten in here when you did, you could have died. But I was really bad. This is probably like maybe a month after I had him. So, you know, me being sick and then having him, it was bad. But, you know, his dad wasn't really around because, you know, his dad wanted to, you know, we were both young. You know, when you're wanting a family so badly, me thinking, oh, this is going to be the person I'm going to be with. Well, that obviously didn't work because he was cheating on me right out the gate after I was pregnant. So, you know, there you go. He had the audacity to bring the girl to the damn hospital.
Wow.
You have the audacity to bring this girl to the hospital, and I'm over here I was in labor for 27 freaking hours.
Okay, wait, let me ask you. This is not your ex-husband, right?
No, this is just my first baby daddy.
Okay. Wow.
I don't have any children by the ex-husband. Hell no.
Oh God, thank God. Well, I don't know. Thank God.
Thank God.
Oh my God.
For real.
Wait. So you know why everyone's here. You know they have come to hear about the ex-demon, right? But before we get into that portion, I think you have elevated, right?
Absolutely. I have elevated tremendously from this. It took my husband, the husband I have now that I've been with for years. It took him. It took, a lot of prayer. It took a lot of strength. It took a lot of meditation. It took a lot of self-love, of me getting to love back myself. It took a lot.
I got you.
It took a lot.
I got you. Well, you know what? You know what? You wrote a song called Elevation. You notice I led into that, right?
Yes, you did.
Oh my God. Let's hear Elevation together, you guys. Hold it. Hold that thought. Hold that energy.
Elevate your mind, and you'll be free. Elevation means you gotta be better than before. Progression means you're always looking for more. You gotta look deep inside yourself. Leave that baggage behind. 'Cause baby girl, you know it's real. to shine. Living my life these past few years, I've been through some things, I shed a few tears. But life isn't over, it's getting much sweeter. Knowing who I am, the grass is much greener. Everyone goes through their struggles every day of their lives. You gotta know what you want, even if it cuts you like a knife. Elevation means you gotta be better than before. Progression means you're always looking for more. You gotta look deep inside yourself. Leave that baggage behind. 'Cause baby girl, you know it's real. It's your time to shine. Become who you really are and embrace your elevated state. There's no coming down now. Smile and wear your crown. Elevate to the next level means coming to grips with who you are. Love every part of you, yes, every part of you, even your scars, leaving some people behind, because you know it's a better day. Someone that doesn't suit you, they will fade away. Elevation means you gotta be better than before. Progression means you're always looking for more. You gotta look deep inside yourself. Leave that baggage behind. 'Cause baby girl, you know it's real. It's your time to shine.
Wow, it's time to elevate, you all. It is time to elevate. And I'm praying that today that this young lady's message and her history touches someone, because there are few out there, a few Ms. Nzuris, and maybe this can help you along your journey to finding freedom as well. Ms. Nzuri, it's time. Are we ready?
Yes, we're ready.
All right. The first time I heard about Legion was his name. It was under a hashtag, who the F did I marry? And so as I was watching, because people were telling me, about this guy and, how ruthless he was. And I started watching all the videos, and that's when I ran into someone that had posted yours. And I said, that's when I realized that you are a part of this story as well, which it was very, very shocking because, we talk about music a lot. But one thing that taught me is that there's more to our artists than just their music. And I have to be very cognizant of that from now on. And you've taught me that. And I thank you so very much, because I really wish that I had known before the world knew. You know what I'm saying? You didn't do anything wrong. I just wish I had known, because I would have been there in different ways besides just the music. Now, I would like for you to tell us whatever you can, whatever you're allowed to and so forth, about Legion. How did you meet him?
So us meeting, basically, so back in 2009, I met him through a friend because he was a quote-unquote music producer. The friend is the one that told me that he was a music producer. So I wanted to get in the studio because I had just moved to Augusta, right? So I'm, getting back into my music or whatever the case may be. So the friend, or I'll say acquaintance, not friend, the acquaintance was like, oh, I know someone. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So he got him on the phone, and we set up a meeting or whatever. And, we talked about getting into the studio, how much it was going to cost, blase. And it was basically an entrance for him. I'm over here thinking that I'm going to get into the studio, and he had other plans, if that makes any sense. It wasn't about that. He was basically trying to ease his way into dating me, if you would.
So we call that in Chicago the underplay for the overplay. They'll come in the door with one, you'll think it's a certain intention, but inside they already have something planned. Let me ask you, when did you start noticing that there is something just not right?
Like when how it's kind of hard to pinpoint it, but it was like every time I would ask about, say, for instance, the studio part, right? Because where's the studio? Why are we not in there? It was like, oh, let's jump to something else of a promise or something like that. And it kind of all came to a head, like, it sounds sad, but like maybe years later, I wasn't really, I was so wrapped up in what was going on, if that makes any sense, that I wasn't really paying attention to what I should have been paying attention because the damn red flags was fucking all over the damn place, and I wasn't paying any attention to it because, yes, I'm asking the questions to myself, but then I'm like, oh, well, I got this going on over here, or I got this going on over here, so I'm not paying attention to everything. So it was a couple of years, before I really was like, wait a minute, something's off with this.
Let me ask
you.
Right. Let me ask you this. Did anyone around you, your family members or your friends, did they ever mention anything to you? Warnings or?
Yes, my dad did. My dad did. My dad met him, and as soon as, parentals for some reason, they just know.
Yes.
My dad knew right out, because, my mom has been passed away since 2005, so she didn't get a chance to meet him, thank goodness, so she probably would have stabbed him. But that's beside the point. My dad was very, aware, and he was like, something's not right with him, because, he, not only is he telling me lies, but he's also trying to finesse my dad, and my dad's from the old school. You can't do that. My dad already knew off top. He's like, he's a freaking liar. He's like, why is he going around here lying about these things? And I'm like, Daddy, I don't know. If you're seeing that they're a lie, I don't know. Me rebuttaling everything because I'm not listening. I didn't want to listen. I didn't want to hear it.
What's so crazy is my stepfather who raised me, exact same way. He knew, he could tell me how long they would last, which one would never come back to the house, so on and so forth. And then when he met my beloved, we all grew up in the same churches, but we didn't know it because we were younger. And so when we reunited, everyone knew him, from the church, and then everyone knew me, and they said, you all have been going to the same churches all these, you didn't even know it, because we weren't looking for each other. But my father and my mother, they specifically said, oh, this is the one you're going to be with for the rest of your life. I said, oh, no, he's crazy. No, I'm not. No, you don't understand. They're like, and my father looked at me. He said, this is the one that you will be with for the rest of your life. He is the one that's going to take care of you. And this is way before my father passed. He transitioned about 4 years ago now, 4 to 5 years ago. And he knew from the jump, walking in the door. And I remember one in particular walked through the door, and he was so nice to him, and he fed him. And he's like, oh, and I said, oh, this is going good. So as the young man was going out the door, he's like, no, don't bring him back to this house. I said, what? But you were so nice to him. He's like, yeah, I can be nice to everyone, but no, my spirit is saying, no, run from that one. And so I did. Okay. So that is a lesson that your parents sometimes do know. But why is it, do you think, Ms. Nzuri, that children don't listen to their parents? Why do they have to do things the hard way, knowing that we've been down these aisles before?
It's like because you want to basically prove your parents wrong. Like, you know for a fact, like, you know, you want to listen to them, but it's like, well, I don't know what you're looking at, but I'm not looking at the same thing that you're looking at. Like, because, you know, we have blinders on, so we don't see the same things that our parents see, knowing that, you know, of course they have our best interest. But when you're in the moment of anything, you're not really thinking about what your parents got to say, because this ain't their life. This is my life, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to do what I want to do, and that's. I mean, now at this age, now I'm a lot more wiser. So if my dad were to tell me anything, I'm going to stop and I'm going to listen, right? But back then, I was like, you can't tell me nothing. You're not living this life, and you know, whatever. But as time went on, I saw exactly what my father was saying.
Let me ask you this. I just thought about this. Do you think that sometimes children, or even adult children, I'm just saying, you know, children meaning adult or younger, do you think that sometimes they may be ashamed to walk away, or maybe they feel like they would be a failure if they have to keep starting over, maybe?
I think that's a great analogy with that. I feel like that could be definitely the case, because, you know, you want something to work. So that way it's like, oh, well, you know, but it's a pride thing. It's a pride thing. Because it's like, okay, you said that it wasn't going to last. But you know, you can't keep that pride up forever, especially if you know for a fact you have to get out. So I think a pride thing, and then, of course, the failure, because you don't want to seem like a failure.
Right.
But in a situation where it's toxic, it's volatile, as you know, obviously I'm a lot wiser now, so it's like, I don't give a goddamn about no pride. I don't give a goddamn about none of that stuff. Being a failure, okay, if I'm a failure, then I'm just a failure. I don't want to deal with any of that, because that's not the way it's supposed to feel. You know, when you have a gut feeling, you have to go with that gut feeling, because it's literally telling you, okay, time to pull out, gotta go, you gotta go. And ignoring all that just puts us in more pain, and it puts us in more years of pain.
A narcissist, I think about narcissists a lot. I was thinking, too, that, you know, I've had a few exes in my time. But one thing I realize is that you have to love yourself more than you love that person. You have to be, and this could be just me, okay? But you have to be willing to walk away from everything. And I've done that before, where I just walked with my clothes on my back, because I feel as though you can't get time back. And so every day is a gift. But one thing that I do worry about with women that were in your situation and other situations, I worked at a restaurant years and years ago. There was a young girl there that worked beside me. She was a domestic violence abuse, you know, person, and she was suffering. And I remember specifically one day we were closing up, and she says, I just don't want to go home. I said, don't go home. I said, come to my house. This is what I want you to do. She says, no, my son is there. I've got to go home. I said, I just have this weird feeling, honey. This is something in my spirit is telling me to tell you, don't go home. She went home. Early in the morning, I got a call from a few of the people that worked in the restaurant. Her baby's father had shot her and her mother and put the baby outside and shot himself. That was the hardest funeral I ever had to go to, is seeing two coffins, a mother and her daughter. Before we get into Legion, I want you to speak to women right now that may be in a position that may think they may be able to get away like you did. What is your advice to them?
If you feel something that if you don't feel safe, if you feel like you need to run, even if you have children, there are domestic violence shelters out there. Look on Google. If he's like controlling your phone, whatever the case may be, go do it incognito on Google if you have to, so that way nothing is saved. Go find find your domestic violence shelter, get your kids when he's at work, whatever you have to do, and run, because it doesn't end well for most of these women. I am blessed to have gotten out, but it does not pan out a lot of times for these women. My mother went through the same exact thing, and she is deceased because of it.
Oh my
so
God.
I will tell you, just go. Call a friend, call a family member. If you don't have any of those, find that domestic violence shelter. Call the police, something, and let them come get you and your children. Just the clothes on your back if you have to, because you can always start over. And go, please.
You know, there's a women and children's shelter that I donate to a lot. You know, clothing and diapers and this and that, and a lot of our sponsors, they also donate. And so we make it a point to make sure that the children have what they need and the adults, the women, have what they need. It is locked down. It is very, very safe, you all. I promise you, they will not be able to just walk on those grounds. I promise you that. They will keep
you. Do everything to keep you safe.
Yes.
Everything.
Yes, they will keep you and your child safe as well. Yeah. So sometimes it would make more sense. And I'm going to tell you, because I've worked with a lot of abuse people, women especially, before, they would always go to their families' homes. That is the first place that the perpetrators look for. They will camp outside of your family's residences looking for you. Mm-hmm. So that is why the women and children's shelters have been erected, is for this exact purpose, because most people don't know where they are, you know. So you would have to call the police would come, they would escort you. You see what I'm saying? It's just that low key. Let's get back to Legion now. So your father, he felt something in his spirit. You didn't want to admit it. Can you tell us a few instances where he took things a little too far?
I mean, the control of the entire situation over time. It's just weird to me how it kind of escalated, because, you know, you don't pay attention because you have blinders on. So as you're going through, it just got worse and worse as far as the control. You know, if he had a point to make, not letting me go to sleep and things of that nature, just like basically, you know, making me stay awake.
Wow.
You know, or if he felt the need that he wanted to put his hands on me, you know, like headbutt me, or whatever the case may be. The psychological abuse, the mental abuse, the emotional abuse was worse than the physical, because that took a bruise here and there, and I'm not excusing the beating, I'm just saying a bruise here and there will go away. The psychological abuse of not being able to sleep for days on end, that takes a toll on anybody.
You know, I was thinking that a lot of the abuse victims that I've worked with, that is one thing they will always say: I can't sleep. This person purposely keeps me awake at night. And do you know why I believe they do that? Is to break you down mentally. Because the less sleep that you get, the less you can function properly. And then if you can't function properly, then they can use that against you as well. Well, look at you. You can't even get up. You can't even clean the house. You can't even do this. But they know in the back of their minds what they're doing. It's strategic. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you've mentioned the emotional abuse, physical abuse. When did you decide enough is frigging enough?
Well, I mean, when he choked my daughter, that was it for me.
How old was your daughter at the time?
She was 11. That was it.
So this daughter was not by him?
No, we don't have any children together.
Okay, and he choked her for what purpose? There is no reason, but...
No reason. She was playing with her friend. We had cats in the house, and we had, so my older cat and the other cat just had kittens, and they were in there playing in the closet. It was like a big old coat closet. Yeah. They were in there playing with the kittens, And that's exactly, I guess they were being loud or whatever, but they're kids and they're having fun. Nobody was bothering him, nothing at all. All I hear is screaming, and I run into the house, and I'm like, oh, hell no. I call the police.
I was thinking that a lot of the abusers, hold on one second, honey. A lot of the abusers, that's what they do as well. Not only will they abuse the children in front of you, sometimes they can also abuse the children when you're not there.
Right. Thank God that was the only time that I know that I've been privy to know about, as far as that's concerned. But, I mean, that was enough for me. Like, not to say that I wanted to be abused, but when you touch my kids,
oh my God,
then it's you. And like, I never told my dad or anything like that because I know how my father is.
Right.
My father would have been on the first plane smoking, and it would have been over with for him. So I don't say very many things because of that reason. But,
of course.
I'm like, no, that's not going to happen. Absolutely not.
A lot of adults, especially, they keep those things from their parents because, just like you said, they know the repercussions. They know what their parents are capable of, and they don't want to see any harm come to their parents. I get that. I get that. But what happens when you don't tell your friends and your family? What can you say about that situation? Should people tell the honest truth about what's going on in their relationships?
I absolutely feel like they should. It should be public knowledge to everybody that is in your circle that care anything about you. Because if anything pops off, they're gonna already know. I need to come get you, or I need to set this up for you, or we have a plan in place already done for you, instead of it being a secret. So I'll tell anybody out there, if you're going through this, please let somebody know. That doesn't mean you have to go to their house when you're ready to go.
Yes.
It's just so that they have the knowledge, so that it's not hitting them, it's not blindsiding them, and they're like, what? Wait a minute, what? What's happening? So that there's a plan in place when you decide, okay, it's time to go.
And I think
it has to be public knowledge. It has to be.
I think as well, an exit plan should always be in place. I teach my family members, I teach them about plan A, plan B, plan C a lot. That's so you will be able to walk when it's that time. You know what I'm saying? If you have to hide money, if you have to hide a separate burner phone. I teach a lot of the women that have been through this, get you a little government phone. Keep it hidden. So if they take your car, if they take your phone, you will always have another phone on standby that they don't know about. So we have to think about, we have to think about how to keep ourselves ready at all times, So he choked your daughter. She was 11. How did your son and your daughter, how did they deal with him when he was there with you?
I mean, I guess kids know too. They kind of have a sixth sense for these things as well. So, they didn't really deal with him, if that makes any sense. They dealt with me. I was basically staying at home because I was going to school. So I was always home with them. And he was out working or whatever. But I was always there with them. And then when he come home, it's basically like we would all scurry.
Wow.
But they would always be with me until it was time for me to go to bed. Obviously, because they had their own rooms. So they'd go to their own rooms. Unless I felt like I wasn't safe or something like that, then, I'd just tell them to come in my room and I'd lock the door and we'd go to bed. But,
wow. So you were living on edge.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, what did he drink or did he? I'm
no.
not right. I'm not making any excuses.
He didn't smoke. He didn't do anything.
It was just in his nature. Did his family members, did they try to warn you or any of his friends or?
No.
Wow.
No. No, and of course, I met his mother, met his father, met his brothers. No. I mean, his mom was just like, because I had to ask her about some lies or whatever that I felt in my heart were lies, and she's like, yeah, these are lies. I don't know what's wrong with that boy.
And sometimes mama's boys, they can't do any wrong in their mother's eyes, oh, that's my baby. She must have did something to make him mad. I mean, that happens a lot. I just want to say a shout out to all of our Instagrammers, our Facebook people, our YouTube people, and all of our radio stations. Thank you for tuning in from the different outlets. I know that a lot of you cannot type in the chat, but whatever you do, go ahead and log in to that link and you will be able to put your picture up as well as your name in order to be able to leave messages in the chat room. But I know that a lot of you are listening because I keep getting messages. I keep getting messages that everyone is listening. And so we really, really do appreciate everything and everybody. So you knew 11 years old. Okay, I've got to get the hell up out of here. How did you rebuild your life after him?
I mean, it was after him, like maybe 6 months, 7 months down the road, I was still where I was at, and I ended up meeting my husband now. But he wasn't, obviously, we didn't get married till 2021, but I ended up meeting him. And, it was like it kind of shocked to my system. It makes any sense because he's so opposite. He's so opposite, but I do know that having someone that is kind and that is patient, that helps the situation along a lot more. Although I will say that I should have taken, a lot more time to heal myself instead of just, even taking the 6 or 7 months. I should have just healed.
Do you think that you brought some of that baggage into the new relationship?
I did. Absolutely. I absolutely did. And it wasn't fair to him, that I did bring that, into our relationship, but I did. And it's not, and I can take accountability for bringing that baggage in. I didn't even realize that I was bringing baggage, if that makes any sense.
Right.
I was acting out, just acting the hell up. I didn't even realize that this is what was going on until later on, obviously. But it's not, like I tell anybody, please, if you're going through something like a situation like this or worse, heal. Be single and heal. Love yourself. Heal yourself and love yourself. And that way, when you are in a new relationship, you can basically not have to bring that baggage along. Of course, we all have a little bit of baggage, but I brought a lot of baggage. I was scarred. I was very scarred.
I can imagine. I can sympathize, and I can imagine. I've seen so many women that have been in your position. It takes so much courage, I think so much courage that women sometimes they don't even know they have inside of them because they've been beaten down for so long. And that, and sometimes they have no self-esteem because it's all yanked from you over, a period of time. How did you rebuild your self-esteem in order to leave and to feel better about yourself?
I'm going to be completely honest. That is still I'm still rebuilding myself throughout all these years. And the crazy thing is that with all of this stuff now just coming back up again, it just feels like I have a great support system, but it just feels like it's almost like reliving the trauma all over again, if that makes any sense.
It does. It's re-victimizing the victims that
And it's
did
like,
not want to be
right,
re-victimized.
because I was in my healing stage, and of course, I'm doing my own thing, whatever the case may be, feeling great about myself. But it's like all of these feelings, all these feelings are like now coming back up because I'm like, just a feeling of hate because I hadn't thought about him in so long, and it's just a feeling of hate that I have, and I don't want to hate anybody, but I know that that's a part of I need to heal from that. So it's one of those things where I needed this to happen so that I could go ahead and I could heal because. Just because I'm not talking about it doesn't make it go away. It's still there. So this is a part of me healing. It's basically I'm facing it head on now. I don't have a choice but to heal from it and to truly look deep within inside of myself and to know who I am as a person and how lovable I am and all these things. And he never did, and he doesn't define who I am. But I needed to look the devil in his face, basically, and let him know you don't control me, you don't own me, you don't have any parts over my life.
Why do they call him Legion?
That's what she calls him. I don't know if that's because she thinks he's the devil, because that is a part of that. But I mean, it was perfect.
Have you ever spoken to the other young lady?
I have no. I mean, I've not spoken to her on the telephone.
Okay.
I'll put it that way. She has, my children are very upset because there have been lives, like TikTok lives that have been going on, and my daughter was in a TikTok live, and the girl comes in there, Lisa comes in there, and then she immediately goes out when she sees my daughter up on the panel on TikTok, on somebody's live, and then after that, my daughter left the live, but then my daughter came back into the TikTok live where they were talking, and Lisa came up on the panel, and they were talking about me and talking about how I was a clout chaser.
Wow.
And my daughter screen recorded the entire thing because Risa was agreeing with them. And I'm like, how am I a clout chaser? I dealt with this well before you did. I didn't even want to bring this up, but my name was mentioned. And then my name was mentioned again. I was brought into a situation that I had nothing to do with from something that happened years and years ago that I did not want to be put back into. But I'm the one that's chasing clout. Absolute bullshit.
Let me ask you this, honey. What have been some of the ramifications behind everyone finding out who you were and so forth?
I mean, I don't even want to start crying. The backlash. People don't know me. I didn't, once I was called out, I didn't come out because I wanted to be famous or any of that. I don't care about any of that. I don't want my name tagged to this at all. But comments, because I drive for Lyft, the comments from people in my car. These things, like I'm scared to go to work. These things, like this is my life that we're talking about, and people are they do not care at all. They could care less. I did not ask for this. I did not, but here we are, and it's like it's crazy to me. Because I'm actually having to relive this bullshit all over again, and I want no parts of it. I just want my life. I just want my regular life. That's it. That's all. I just want peace. That's it.
You know what's crazy is that I hear so many artists saying, I want to go viral. I want to be all over the world. They have no idea what comes with being a public figure. And I try to warn them that it's not just going to be about your music. They're going to dig into your whole life. Everywhere you go, everything that you do is going to be out there.
And I mean, I am appreciative of people that are listening to my music that is on my TikTok. I'm grateful and I'm thankful for it, and all the kind people that have given me nice comments and kind comments. I want people to know that I have nothing against Risa at all. This is not her against me. This is us against him, in my mind, because he is the fucking perpetrator here. That's how I look at it, and I need for people to know that, and I've said it I don't even know how many times, but I can only say it so many times because people obviously don't care, and they want to pit us against each other. At the end of the day, this is two women that went through trauma of the same person. So it doesn't, people can feel how they want to feel about me, but this is my real life. I went through this. Everybody's like, oh, well, you know, you could have put your story out too. For what? I was moving on with my life. I did not give two fucks, excuse my French, about this man and what he had going on. I did not. I was dragged into this.
I'm going to play something. I'm going to play something right quick because I think this is the perfect time. If anyone wants to know what her name is, this is her song.
Yeah. Ms. Nzuri. I'm coming. Yeah. All right. Check this out. Yeah. I penetrate this dope ass beat. Make my lyrics feel the heat. With a rhyme you gonna know it's because I'm not based by enemies. Turn the brass to nickel. Make them bodies turn cold. By the shivers that I bring to you, ain't nothing that you can do. Killing a game lyrically. Turn them heads physically. Keep watching while I elevate. Don't let it frustrate. I'm getting mines by enemies. No, I'm not squeaky clean. I'm coming for your throne. Just thought you should know. I done told ya I'm not to be messed with. Can't step up to me and think that you the blessing. You way out of your cipher. You know you can't contest with me. You need to have several seats and let me proceed.
Cause when she step up on the scene, you gon' know her. That's Miss Nzuri, cause she's the baddest and you done had it. So when you see her coming through, you better get up out the way, cause she don't motherfucking play. Cause when she step up on the scene, you gon' know her. That's Miss Nzuri, cause she's the baddest and you done had it. So when you see her coming through, you better get up out the way, cause she don't motherfucking play. Yeah.
My name holds the element. You don't wanna start no shit. Understanding who I am makes you feel more aware. Trust me if you want to, like a bow in my crosshairs. No warning she'll be giving, cause I've been more than generous with the message that I say to you. You either get it or you know you through. Go ahead, step up and try me out. I promise we can go round for round. No games will be played, no shade will be had. If you think you can take me, I will stand here proud. Knowing who I am, the truth is that I tell. I promise to you, I will take you to hell.
Cause when she step up on the scene, you gon' know her. That's Miss Nzuri, cause she's the baddest and you done had it. So when you see her coming through, you better get up out the way, cause she don't motherfucking play. Cause when she step up on the scene, you gon' know her. That's Miss Nzuri, cause she's the baddest and you done had it. So when you see her coming through, you better get up out the way, cause she don't motherfucking play. Yeah.
Ms. Nzuri, I need to know something. Oh, there it is. Thank you so much. You guys, I want you to look in the chat right now. I want us all to bless Ms. Nzuri. And her Cash App is $, all lowercase letters, N as in Nancy, Z, U, R, I, 1013. That is her Cash App. And she also has a GoFundMe up. Because of the situation that she has been going through, she is now being recognized in her home state as well as everywhere. Everyone knows her now. And now she's going through hell with just people from the internet. So now she's not able to work as much as she would like to because of the harassment, you guys. Please, everyone that is joining from all of our different outlets, whether you're from my Instagram or YouTube or iHeart or Deezer or Spotify or SoundCloud or Spreaker, let's bless this young lady right now. I want to end on a beautiful note, okay?
Yes.
I want to talk about someone that came into your life. He swept you off your feet. Yes, he did. And I was so shocked because I saw a beautiful wedding. Tell me about your beloved.
Oh, I just love him so much. He is not only my husband, but he's also my producer.
Yes.
And my engineer, and my photographer, and my videographer. He's everything. But I love him so much because he loved me to life. He loved he loved me through all of the hard times. He loved me through all of that. And, he's never asked for anything in return. So I just love him so much for that because he did not have to. Because I mean, I'm a handful now, but I'm not as bad as I was back then.
Yes.
Because I was bad. It was one of those things where it wasn't him that was doing it. It was not his fault,
Right.
but I was taking things out on him that I should not have. I should have healed before I got with him. But he's like spectacular. He's fantastic. Everything that I could ask for in a man, I have that in a husband, and I'm so grateful for him. I love him so much.
And so all of the young ladies out there, and men as well, you may have been in an abusive relationship, or you may be in one now. Dreams do come true, you guys. But the first step is you have to leave. You have to leave, and you have to love yourself more than you love that abusive person and the abuse as well. I'm going to end very shortly, but I want you to give a little encouraging words to anyone that is listening that may be going through this. What would you like to say to them today, Ms. Nzuri?
I just want to say to anybody out there that is dealing with anything that, you feel in your heart that you shouldn't be, just take a good look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself that you love yourself. And look in the mirror and say, I love you. And keep saying it over and over again. And you're going to cry. That's okay. But that's the first step to self-love. Because it's got to start somewhere. Loving yourself is the greatest gift that you could ever do for you because it helps you to navigate and guide yourself through the rest of the world. It's hard to see anything good when the only thing you've ever seen was bad. But when you start to love yourself, everything, all the rose-colored glasses go away and you can see clearer. And you can see that, you know what, there is love in the world. You are meant to be loved. It's okay to be loved. It's okay to accept love. But you have to be able to love yourself first.
That is a beautiful message. I just want to say thank you so very much for coming through on tonight. I'm glad I got through this interview. I didn't think I was going to be able to do it because I was losing my voice for a couple of days. But God is always good. And I said, I'm getting through this no matter what. I just want to say thank you for coming through. Of course, we will be in touch. Of course, you will be in 2 editions, it seems like now, the 25L, as well as the Global Fire magazine. And we've got a few surprises for Miss Nzuri, too. So be looking out, you guys, on all of her pages. Where can our guests find your pages?
Okay, so on Facebook, on IG, on TikTok, and on YouTube, it's under Ms. Nzuri. So that's M as in Mike, Z as in Zebra, dot Nzuri, N as in Nancy, Z as in Zebra, U as in Umbrella, R as in Robert, I as in Indigo.
You heard her. You heard her, guys. And when you go over, just tell her that the Phoenix sent you. All right, I'm going to let you go now. Thank you so very, very much for blessing us on today. And I will be calling you very, very soon. God bless you, baby.
Thank you so much.
That was Ms. Nzuri, you guys. We're going to end on a King Tiger joint. This is called If You Lead Me, I Shall Follow.
Rey Pablo.
Dear Lord, I know I'm only human, and sometimes I lose my faith. And I've walked a million miles in these human shoes. But now I'm asking if you have it your way and you got me on the right path, I'll follow. In your name, in your faith, dear Lord.
God, if you lead me, I will follow.
I will
Follow you all the way back home. Lord, I've tried to do it all on my own. If you lead me, I'm coming all the way back home.
I know as a man I can only do so much for the world, but I know through your grace, through your love, I can do it all. And I know for a long time I thought I could do it on my own, but I find out I can't. I need you to walk through the sand in a second footprint. Yeah.
God, if you lead me, I will follow. Follow you all the way back home. Lord, I've tried to do it all on my own.
I did.
But if you lead me, I'm coming all the way back home.
Dear Lord, this time I ask that you grace us with your presence, that you help us understand when we can't. Help us to have patience where we don't have none. Help us to have faith where we are faithless. Lord, I ask you to be here with your full presence.
God, if you lead me, I will follow. Follow you all the way back home. Lord, I've tried to do it all on my own. But if you lead me, I'm coming all the way back home.
Thank you all so very much, and thank you to my beautiful guest on today, Ms. Nzuri. Thank you for blessing us, and meet me back here tomorrow, you guys, same time. I have another incredible interview coming your way. Until next time, peace, family.